Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Ali Raza Fahad and I welcome you to my channel. Today in this video I will discuss the Elizabethan age. The English literary renaissance consists of four subsets: the Elizabethan age 1558 to 1603, the Jacobean age 1603 to 1625, the Caroline age 1625 to 1649, the Commonwealth period 1649 to 1660. This is Queen Elizabeth's depiction from the movie Shakespeare in Love. Queen Elizabeth I. She is also known as Elizabeth the Great, the Virgin Queen, Good Queen Bess, and Gloriana. She was born on 7 September 1533 to King Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn. The Roman Catholics of England considered her an illegitimate child. She ascended to throne in 1558 at the age of 25 after the death of her half-sister Mary. Reigned 45 years as Queen of England and Scotland. She never married, hence called the Virgin Queen. However, involved in a scandalous romance with Robert Dudley, later called the Earl of Leicester, her master of the horse. Through the change of the Act of Sovereignty and the Act of Uniformity to please the Roman Catholic and Protestant churches, probably saved England from religious and political wars. Elizabeth showed great wisdom by getting round the decisions of the Parliament, paying one off against another. She funded voyages of discovery to America's expeditions, prepared England for an age of colonization and expansion. Black Death, the bubonic plague, broke out in London in 1563. Queen moved her court to Windsor Castle. The English Navy defeated the Spanish Armada under Queen Elizabeth's rule. During her reign, there was an increase in literacy rates and fine arts. She was highly intelligent and could speak several languages including Latin, Spanish, Welsh, and French. Elizabeth mastered her studies of classical literature, rhetoric, history, and moral philosophy with the help of her teacher Roger Ascham. Under her reign, the arts flourished, miniature painting was at a high point, and the theatre thrived. In 1601, her golden speech, which gave an overview of the great performances during her reign. She died on 24th March 1603 in Richmond, London. These are some of the illustrations of Queen Elizabeth, where we can see Her Majesty in full grandeur. The Elizabethan era. Elizabeth managed to maintain a relative peace between the Protestants and the Catholics. She tried to unite her people by insisting that they are all English. This thing worked well most of the time, and the people developed a sense of national pride. The Protestant Reformation became more acceptable to the people, more certainly after the Spanish Armada was repulsed in 1588. It was a time of discovery, when sailors journeyed far and wide and were introduced to many new cultures and civilizations, which is now termed as colonization. The rising middle class had access to education, could read and write in their mother tongue instead of Latin, and was becoming aware of endless possibilities for wealth and success, trade and new world. All this impacted on the way people thought. The world, as it were, had been opened up to them. Many of the writers, thinkers, and artists of the day enjoyed the patronage of members of Elizabeth's court, and their works often involved or referred to the great queen. She was the symbol of the day. The period revolutionized many aspects of English life, Most significantly, literature. The Elizabethan literature. The Elizabethan age is considered the golden age of English literature. This golden age represented the top of the English Renaissance and saw the flowering of poetry, music, and literature. Elizabeth was a good dancer, composer, and loved music. Fine arts received support and encouragement from the Queen that was unparalleled by any other English monarch. Hence, the authors and works of this time period came to be known as Elizabethan. She was an avid reader and often held theatre performances in her court, particularly from her own company of actors known as the Queen's Players. Literature in particular flourished under the reign of Elizabeth with many influential authors. Literature, poetry, and theatre all broke away from the past and expanded in new creative directions. This age can be seen in four different perspectives. First comes a Reformation. The Reformation of Church during the time of King Henry. The effect of Reformation can be found in the works of Spenser, Shakespeare, Milton, etc. Spenser presented the best trends of Reformation in The Faerie Queene. Renaissance. The age was marked as Renaissance by the symbol of Britannia, first used in 1572. The age is characterized by vigorous intellectual thinking, inspired national pride through classical ideals, an age of adventure and discovery, a time in which new ideas and new experiences were sought after. Translations. Elizabethan age is the age of translation. Many Greek and Roman classical works were translated into English during Elizabethan age. For example, George Chapman translated the Greek epic The Iliad into English. Translations were very useful to the writers of the time. For example, Shakespeare, Spenser, Marlowe, Ben Jonson all benefited themselves from these translations. Literary discoveries. Elizabethan age is the age of literary discoveries. The various inventions in the field of literature by Elizabethan writers were expounded. Spenser introduced Spenserian stanza. John Lyly's prose style set a new example in prose writing. Christopher Marlowe introduced blank verse drama. Shakespeare also introduced sonnet tragedy. Elizabethan literature can be divided into three genres: poetry, drama, and prose. Elizabethan poetry. During Elizabeth's reign, poetry flourished and was also called English Renaissance poetry. Atmosphere of England was full of song, and England became the nest of singing birds. The chief forms of poetry of the time were lyric, sonnet, narrative poetry. Most popular themes of the time: relationship between men and women, treachery and hypocrisy of courtly life. Lyric poetry was strongly influenced by Italian poets, in particular by Francesco Petrarch. Lyric poetry gives expression to the poet's own thoughts and feelings. Reason why the lyric poet is pictured as a rather dreamy, unpractical person with his thoughts turned inwards. The proper Elizabethan literary age began in 1579, but before that age, Sir Thomas White and Earl of Surrey introduced novelities into lyric poetry. One of the finest lyricists was Sir Philip Sidney. The famous dramatist Marlowe has also written some fine lyrics. Sonnet is a 14-line lyrical poem with a fixed form and rhyme pattern. There are two types of sonnets, Italian and English. At the time, the writing of poetry was part of the education of a gentleman. Sonnets were very popular among the upper classes, and collections of sonnets and lyrics were often published. Aristocrats who did not write poetry themselves were usually patterned to other poets. Shakespeare and Spenser heavily influenced Sonic writing style. The style of writing sonnets in three quatrains and a couplet later became known as Shakespearean in recognition of the bard's frequent use of his method. Blank verse. Blank verse is a line that has no rhyme, but it does have a definite rhythm created by iambic pentameters. Iambic is a pattern of stressed and unstressed syllables. It creates a special music. The structure of a blank verse poem, 5 feet of iambic syllables. They sound do dhum, do dhum, do dhum, do dhum, do dhum. Each foot making the word sound like it has heartbeat rhythm. White and Surrey. Thomas White and Earl of Surrey are often mentioned together, but there are many differences in their work. Both wrote sonnets. Sir Thomas White, 1503 to 1542. Born in Kent, a statesman and a courtier of King Henry VIII. He brought the sonnet to English literature. Thomas White introduced terza rima verse form from French to English. Pioneer in use of autobiographical material in poetry. He was influenced by Italian verse forms like Petrarchan sonnet with octave and sestet. Henry Howard, the Earl of Surrey, 1517 to 1547. Wrote the first blank verse in English. First use of blank verse is found in his translation of the second and fourth book of Aeneid by Virgil. He wrote 15 sonnets, 10 of which are English sonnets. Prison in Windsor is his most celebrated poem. Wrote an elegy on the death of White, White resteth here. Surrey focused on form, whereas White's sonnets are marked with passion. White and Surrey's works are published in compilation work called Songs and Sonnets. William Shakespeare. The greatest dramatist Shakespeare was also a great poet of this age. Shakespeare was born on 23rd April 1564 at Stratford upon Avon. He is known as England's national poet. Sonnets. These sonnets were written between 1593 to 1600 but printed in 1609. He wrote around 154 sonnets. These sonnets were the climax and the end of the Elizabethan sonnet. Shakespeare significantly changed the Italian model and introduced his own style, now known as the English or Shakespearean sonnet. The rhyme scheme was AB, AB, CD, CD, EF, EF, GG. Lyrics. Some examples of the best Elizabethan lyrics can be found in the plays of Shakespeare. Narrative poetry. He also wrote 4 long poems, which are Venus and Adonis, The Rape of Lucre, A Lover's Complaint, and The Phoenix and the Turtle. These are the patterns of Italian or Petrarchan and English or Shakespearean sonnets. Edmund Spenser. Spenser was born in 1552 or 53 in London. He was classically educated at Cambridge. He started to write pastoral poetry, in which main characters are shepherds. Like White and Surrey, Spenser derived his chief impulse from Italy. He is known as the poet's poet, the prince of poets in his time. He was called to be the second father of English poetry. Spenserian stanza consisted of 9 lines, first 8 lines in iambic pentameter, whereas the ninth line in hexameter. Rhyme scheme of a Spenserian stanza is A, B, A, B, B, C, B, C, C. Spenser died on 13th January 1599. The Shepherd's Calendar was written in 1579. Title was borrowed from French Almanac. A poem consisted of 12 books, was written under pen name Emerito. It was written in the imitation of Virgil's Eclogues, written in the form of discussions between shepherds and praise of Queen Elizabeth, a tribute to Chaucer, and it was dedicated to Philip Sidney. His most acclaimed work, The Faerie Queene, which was unfinished as well, was written between 1590 and 1596. It was unfinished, Arthur's greatest work. The first 3 books were published in 1590 and book 4 and 6 were published in 1596. It was envisioned by Spencer as encompassing 12 books, each one detailing a quest by some knight of King Arthur's court on behalf of Gloriana, the Faerie Queene. The Faerie Queene, a national epic, an epic poem and fantastical allegory celebrating the Tudor dynasty and Elizabeth I. It was dedicated to Queen Elizabeth. Sir Philip Sidney, 1554 to 1586. One of the finest lyricists, Sir Philip Sidney was a courtier, statesman, soldier and a poet. In 1583, Sidney was knighted. He wrote 108 sonnets. Astrophel and Stella was written in 1576. So it was a sonnet about a young man who falls in love with a lady Stella who is already married. It was printed in 1591 after his death. Sir Walt Raleigh, born in 1552 or 54 and died in 1618. He was a poet, soldier, sailor, explorer, courtier and a writer. He wrote in relatively straightforward, unornamented mode known as the plain style. C.S. Lewis considered Raleigh one of the era's silver poets. His writing contains strong personal treatments of themes such as love, loss, beauty and time. Most of his poems are short lyrics that were inspired by actual events. He wrote a poetic response to Christopher Marlowe's The Passionate Shepherd to His Love, entitled The Nymph's Reply to the Shepherd. Elizabethan drama. Theatre and acting companies. Tour troupes, the companies of players attached to households of leading noblemen and performing seasonally in various locations, existed before the reign of Elizabeth I. Tour troupes received better funding as Queen Elizabeth I showed her enthusiasm for them. These groups were first seen as vagabonds, but they became immensely popular, replaced by the professional companies with noble patron. One of these companies was Lord Admiral's Men. It had Christopher Marlowe on the ranks for the leading company. The other company was Lord Chamberlain's Men. It had a budding William Shakespeare. First public theatre, The Theatre, opened in 1576 by James Burbage. Shakespeare put on most of his plays in there and acted in some of them. Famous theatres of Elizabethan time are the Rose, the Swan, the Globe and the Fortune. Elizabethan drama. The Renaissance theatre in England saw the coming of Elizabethan drama. Queen Elizabeth was the patron of drama writers. During the Elizabethan age, drama made a wonderful jump into maturity. Elizabethan drama derived from medieval theatre traditions like the mystery and miracle plays. Elizabethan drama was undidactic. It had secular theme and conflicts between characters, non-allegorical, played in streets, squares and houses. Playwrights like Robert Greene, George Peele, Thomas Lodge, Thomas Kidd and Christopher Marlowe made the drama glorious and successful entertainment for the people. Elizabethan drama reached at its heights in the hands of Shakespeare and Ben Jonson. Elizabethan drama was written in blank verse or prose. Genres of Elizabethan drama. History plays mostly written by Christopher Marlowe and William Shakespeare. Tragedy, Revenge Tragedy by Kidd or Marlowe Shakespeare. Comedy was being written by Lily Shakespeare, or city comedy especially by Ben Jonson. Romances were being written by Shakespeare. Thomas Kidd, 1558 1594. Kidd was the creator of Elizabethan blood tragedy, that is also called Tragedy of Revenge. His most significant and only surviving work, The Spanish Tragedy. It was written sometime between 1583 and 1592. The Spanish tragedy is viewed as a crude example of Elizabethan tragedy today. Its speeches are very artificial and has gory violence, but it was immensely popular in its own time. It gave the English audience the gore it demanded, and at the same time presented the downfall of hated enemies, the Spanish, with whom the English were at war at the time. Kidd's play glorifies England as God's chosen place on earth. Francis Mears placed him among our best for tragedy, and Hayward elsewhere called him famous Kidd. Christopher Marlowe, 1564 to 1593. Marlowe was born on 26th Feb 1564 in Canterbury, England. He attended Cambridge. At university, Marlowe was writing short plays and literary works. He is also known as the father of English tragedy. Marlowe was a true original. He created and mastered the theatrical language of blank verse. He was capable of portraying emotion without the restrictions of earlier, more rigid forms. He strongly influenced Shakespeare, and he was killed on 30th May 1593 in a brawl at Deptford near London. His dramatic works are Dido, the Queen of Carthage, which is his unfinished work, and it was written in 1585 or 6. The first part of Tamburlaine the Great, it was written in 1586-7. The second part of Tamburlaine the Great, it was written in 1587. The Jew of Malta, it was written in 1589-90. Dr. Faustus, 1592. Edward II, which was also written in 1592. The Massacre at Paris, his last work, 1592. William Shakespeare. Shakespeare was born on 23rd April 1564 at Stratford-upon-Avon. William Shakespeare is taken as the finest dramatist of all times. He began his career as a play actor and then moved to playwriting. He had great dramatic as well as poetic gift. His plays look like a living world of people. His characters have both individual and universal qualities. He wrote 37 plays, which is a debatable number. Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway on November 28, 1582 in Worcester. Shakespeare died on 23rd April 1616. His contribution: improvement of blank verse and development of characters, combination of traditional with freer style, wide range of themes. His plays are usually divided into 4 categories, which are histories, comedies, tragedies, and romances. His works are divided into 4 periods. 1577 to 1593 is his early experimental period, in which he wrote comedies and histories such as 3 parts of Henry VI and the Comedy of Error, etc., Romeo and Juliet, a youthful tragedy, Midsummer Night's Dream, and Richard III. His second period starts from 1594 to 1600. It was a time in which he wrote great comedies and chronicles like Richard II, Merchant of Venice, Henry IV, Part 1 and 2, Taming of Shrew, Much Ado About Nothing, As You Like It, and Twelfth Night. From 1600 to 1608, somber comedies and best tragedies were written. for which he is now best known, like Julius Caesar, Hamlet, Othello, King Lear, Macbeth, and Antony and Cleopatra, Coriolanus, Timon of Athens, Measure for Measure, All is Well that Ends Well, Troilus and Cressida. From 1608 to 1612, he wrote romances and comedies. In his final years, Shakespeare turned to the romances with Cymbeline, A Winter's Tale, and The Tempest. Benjamin Jonson, 1572 to 1637, he is Elizabethan and Jacobean writer. He is more known and famous for his works that he produced in Jacobean age. He was born on 11th June 1572 in London. He was a poet, essayist, player, and a playwright. He is best known for his satirical plays. Jonson produced popular masques. Masques are works combining drama, song, and spectacle. Shakespeare acted in his play Every Man in His Humour at some point. Jonson died on August 16, 1637. He wrote comedies in Elizabethan era. His popular comedies of the time are Every Man in His Humour, which was written in 1598, Every Man Out of His Humour, that was written in 1599. His best works are written in Jacobean era. Elizabethan prose. Thomas North, 1535 to 1604. Many writers of the Elizabethan age translated various books into English. North translated Plutarch's Lives of the Noble Grecian and Romans, one of the best translators with a good command of English. He had wide influence on Elizabethan prose. Richard Hakluyt, 1553 to 1616, collected and published the principal navigations, voyages, and discoveries of the English nation. It was published in 1589, then expanded in 1598 to 1600. Robert Greene, 1558 to 1592. His Pandosto, The Triumph of Time, 1585, a prose romance which gave Shakespeare the plot of his play The Winter's Tale. John Lyly, 1554 to 1606. Euphues, or the Analogy or Anatomy of Wit, with its sequel Euphues and His England, 1580, a kind of novel in a loose construction. He started a fashion which spread in books and conversation called Euphuism. This kind of language style was common among the ladies of the time. Even Shakespeare was influenced by his artificial style. Thomas Nash. Thomas Nash was born in 1567 to 1601. Father of English picaresque novel. The Unfortunate Traveller, or The Life of Jack Wilton, 1594, and The Terrors of the Night, 1594. These are his two works. The Life of Jack Wilton is a picaresque novel. Picaresque novel is a novel about the adventures of a man of bad but lovable character. Sir Philip Sidney, 1554 to 1586. An Apology for Poetry, The Defense of Poesy, originally Apology for Poetry, was written in 1595. It was an answer to Stephen Gosson's The School of Abuse. Apology for Poetry was a critical essay in which he defends poetry as the work of man is supposed to remain longer than the creation of nature. Francis Bacon, 1561 to 1626. He was also an Elizabethan and Jacobean writer. Francis Bacon studied at Cambridge, inspired by Montaigne, a French essayist. His essays appeared in 1580. Bacon introduced inductive method, anti-Ciceronian style or Baconian method. Bacon's style is most remarkable for its terseness and condensation. University wits. University wits were a group of late 16th century English playwrights who were educated at the universities of Oxford or Cambridge. Prominent members of this group. Those members who studied at Cambridge were Christopher Marlowe, Robert Greene, and Thomas Nash. From Oxford's side were John Lilly, Thomas Lodge, and George Peele. They were the literary elite of the time. They often ridiculed other playwrights such as Thomas Kyd and Shakespeare who did not have a university education. Some scholars think that Marlowe would have surpassed Shakespeare as an author if he had not been killed in a tavern brawl. University wits did make a significant contribution to Elizabethan literature in various genres. The term university wits was not used in their lifetime, but it was coined by George Saintsbury, a 19th century journalist and author. Thank you very much.